What happens when Mercury starts picking at the scab in Venus's garden? This is Taurus first decan, active from April 20th to April 29th, ruled by Venus and Mercury, and represented by the Five of Pentacles. This is the first face of Taurus. In this section, we are looking at the major cards that shape this decan: the Empress for Venus, the Magician for Mercury, and the Hierophant for Taurus. Together, they show how comfort, intellect, and faith work through the earthy quality of Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus, represented in tarot by the Empress. Venus is embodied and magnetic. In Taurus, she seeks physical comfort, beauty, and peace in the body. Venus magnetizes, and in Taurus, that magnetism often turns toward earned money, craft, and comfort. Many Taurians can be strong moneymakers because they understand value. They know how to recognize what lasts. The first decan of Taurus is co-ruled by Mercury, represented by the Magician. Mercury rules the mind, speech, trade, and skill. So when Mercury enters the field of Taurus, the question becomes practical. Can the idea become food? Can the plan become money? Is there enough? Taurus rules the second house of personal resources, earned money, values, and self-worth. This is where inspiration has to become something solid enough to live with. Taurus helps new life take root in tradition, self-worth, money, and food. And the moment you have something real to maintain, worry walks in carrying a clipboard. The tarot card for this decan is the Five of Pentacles, sometimes called the Five of Discs. In the Rider-Waite-Smith image, two poor figures move through snow outside a glowing church window. The scene feels cold and excluded. It shows need, fear, and the painful experience of being close to comfort, but not inside it. The beggars highlight a breakdown in material flow, whether from poor planning, stubbornness, or outer circumstances. But the church window suggests untapped practical and spiritual resources. In the Golden Dawn tradition, this card is called Lord of Material Trouble. In the Thoth tradition, Crowley sharpens that trouble into one word: worry. That title fits Mercury in Taurus. This card shows what happens when the rapid mind meets fixed earth. Mercury was once called Quicksilver because it could not be pinned down. Taurus is dense and steady. When they work together, ideas become practical and focused. When they clash, Mercury wants speed, but Taurus can feel like a traffic jam for it. Thoughts about comfort, food, luxury, and resources slow down and grow heavy. The mind asks, do I have enough? Am I secure? But positively, this mental energy is about patient and practical problem solving. That is Taurus wisdom. Worry can become craft, preparation, and material intelligence. And in the next video, we will see exactly how powerful that can be, because the list of famous birthdays in this decan is honestly staggering. Mercury is required to slow down in this decan. Taurus belongs to the body, and the body cannot be rushed by the intellect. Anyone who has moved through weight loss, illness, grief, addiction, or physical recovery knows this. The mind may want an instant answer, but the body moves through time. This is why the Hierophant card was assigned to Taurus. In the traditional image, the Hierophant appears as a teacher or spiritual authority seated between pillars. He represents tradition, values, instruction, and the systems that hold a community together. For Taurus, the Hierophant is not only about religion, it is about what we trust enough to preserve. That ties directly to Taurus, ruling the second house of earned money, values, and self-worth. The question is not only what do I have, the question is what do I believe is valuable enough to protect, build, and live by. Mercury brings in the Magician. In this Taurus decan, the Magician cannot remain abstract. Mercury may begin with ideas and possibilities, but Taurus asks a very practical question. Can this become shelter, food, or physical comfort? In Taurus, Mercury can be the trickster at the feast. The mental quality of Mercury pokes worry at Venusian themes of food, comfort, and resources. Mercury is like the doom scroller in the garden, trying to read the receipt before Venus orders another round of appetizers. When that happens, Taurus can slip into a scarcity mindset. The Magician still has tools on the table, but worry makes him forget how to use them. Even while surrounded by abundance, Taurus may worry about its lack. That is the difficult side of Mercury in Taurus. Sometimes the lack is real. Sometimes Mercury's worry blocks abundance. The mind can become so fixed on danger that it cannot see the lit window beside it. The doorway is there, yet worry ignores it. This is where the Hierophant offers faith and commitment. It might be one of the reasons why astrologists call Taurus the money sign. In the Christian tradition, Jesus points to the lilies growing in the field. They do not labor, weave, or strive to make themselves beautiful. The teaching is simple and profound. Why worry so much about what you will wear or how you will be provided for when life is sustained by an order larger than our worry? And that is exactly where the Five of Pentacles enters the story. This card shows what happens when the mind forgets that larger field of provision. This same teaching appears across cultures too. The Quran teaches that every creature is known and sustained by Allah, while the Bhagavad Gita says those connected to the divine are carried and preserved. Buddhism adds another angle. Suffering grows when the mind clings too tightly to what is material fixation. This is why the Hierophant matters here as the tarot symbol of Taurus. Taurus carries an old human memory of the body, the earth, and the sacred power of the bull. Across many cultures, the bull has been linked with fertility, wealth, strength, and survival. The Hierophant gives that earthy power a spiritual frame. He represents the person who holds sacred teaching for the community. In our culture, that image may be the pope or the priest. In other traditions, it may be the imam, the sheikh, the rabbi, the monk, the elder, or the spiritual teacher. Different robes, same human need. Someone to remind us that life is held by something larger than fear. And yes, the Hierophant has a shadow. Faith can harden into dogma. Sacred teaching can become opinion that refuses to change. Mercury and Taurus can do this too. Thought can harden into a fixed position, and changing the mind can take a long time. We will look at that shadow side in the next clip in the Taurus playlist. This decan teaches us to use the Mercury mind without letting it run the entire house. Honor the Venus body. Return to the Hierophant's values. And if this Taurus decan has you checking your wallet and your emotional support snacks, click into the full Taurus Intelligent Perspectives playlist.